Hi, Tiffany. Welcome back to my dungeon. How are you, Tiffany? How have you been? It's been so long, I've missed you. I say that every single time, but this time, this very single time, I mean it. The other times I was lying, I didn't miss you, but this time I do, this time I did. Today I figured I would bless you, grace you with my presence, and we would talk about the books that I'm most excited for 2025. Specifically, the horror books that I'm most excited for. When I was doing my research for this video, I found so many different books by so many different authors, some that I've heard of, some that I haven't, and I just need you to know that I'm excited for every single one of them, and I want all of them. Nobody ever talks about how hard it is to be like a book girl. The hoarding is real. Looking at new books, like books that are coming out, it just makes me want to buy all of them. And that's so hard, and nobody talks about that. I'm the only booktuber. I'm the only booktuber talking about it, Tiffany. The other booktubers are scared too. What do you think of my makeup? Is she stunning or is she stunning? I think I have a crush on myself. Hi, bug. Ow. I'm kind of a productivity girl. And when I say productivity girl, what I mean is I want to be a productivity girl. I'm constantly striving and thriving, looking for something to scratch that itch in my soul, for something that's comomprehensive, all-encompassing, and effective. And that's where today's sponsor, Notion, comes in. You know what Notion is. You have to know what Notion is. Everybody does. Notion is that girl. Notion is the girl. I want to talk to you because no one's talking about it. Notion's new AI system. It finds what you need across multiple apps and helps with a variety of tasks right inside the Notion workspace. Over the last few months, Notion has been behind the scene, the people in Notion, they've been behind the scenes working, strategizing, typing, probably putting together this new AI. And I need you to know that it's more capable, more useful, more productive. You're sitting there, Tiffany, I can see it. You're thinking, what do I need an AI for? Let me tell you, you sweet biscuit gravy lump. With Notion's new AI, you can connect your Google Drive and your Slack, which is literally a game changer. I'm constantly on Slack. Having it connected to my Notion has literally been a game changer for me because things get lost and found so quickly, so easily. But with the AI Notion, I can just be hey, what was that thing they said about this thing? And boom, it knows, it's there. It's like having a little nerd follow you around all the time with a little notepad, just being oh yeah, no, this is what they said. Thank God. Notion AI is built off of models like ChatGPT and Claude. Personally, my favorite thing to use the Notion AI for is for it to just give me ideas to help me sort of build things. I'll be on Notion and I'll be I want to start tracking the books I'm reading. Honestly, Goodreads, she's not cutting it anymore. I'm hey, Notion AI, could you do me a huge solid and just make me a little reading tracker? In seconds, it literally just does it for me. It does all the work for me. What I'll also use it for is brainstorming stuff. So if I'm what kind of video do I want to make next? Notion AI, let me know. What do you think? And it'll be oh, hey, you could try a book haul. You could try a recommendation video. You could do a this and that kind of video. Also, what's really helpful is it can just help you with any little thing. You could just chat with it about anything, recipes, your work life. You could get advice from it, and it's going to source all of this information, and it's going to be there for you. And you can use it and put it into your Notion. It can analyze files and image attachments. What's crazy to me and kind of wild is that it can generate documents in your style or edit your writing with your preferred style. There's so many million, bazillion, gajillion things you could do with Notion AI, and each and every single one of them is mind-blowing to me. In my humble opinion, I kind of think that it's what's pushed Notion for me over the edge into something that I really look forward to using. All you need to do, Tiffany, is click the link in my description, get started with Notion for free, and unlock the new Notion AI for only $10 a month. Literally just click the link in my description, check it out. Literally $10 a month, and you can live your full dreams, live your full potential. Notion by itself is stunning, but with the AI, it just transcends. Once again, click the link in my description, check out Notion, and sign up for Notion AI for only $10 a month. Thank you so much to Notion and the new Notion AI for sponsoring this video. Tiffany, let's talk about horror books, okay? The first book I want to talk to you about is Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. I've talked to Clay a few times and he is the nicest guy in the world. Like, he's so nice. However, I haven't loved a lot of his books. I feel like this one could be the one for me. So in this book, we are following this guy named Noah Fairchild. Noah has felt that he's been losing his parents to like the far right. Far right. He has been feeling like he's been losing his parents to the far right, the Fox News of it all. And he's kind of worried about them. Until one day he gets an anonymous text message from his mom. In the text message, she says the reawakening is finally here. Noah is like, the fuck? He tries like calling his parents, his family, and no one will pick up the phone. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make the drive down there and see what's going on with my family because they're being weirdos, like more than usual. When he gets there, he goes to the house. He finds that the house is in shambles. It's like fucked up. The fridge is full of rotting food. His family are like sitting in front of the TV, just like glazed over, like a donut, watching blankly at this like pixelated screen until Noah's mom literally tries to kick his ass. Like, his mom literally like comes for him physically. Noah isn't the only person though being attacked by loved ones. Families across the country are tearing each other apart, literally, as people succumb to what seems like some kind of possession. It seems like some kind of demonic thing is happening. In his entire family, only him and his nephew Marcus are not affected by this possession, by this like weird thing. Together they must race back to the safe haven of Brooklyn. But can they make it before they fall prey to violent hordes? It sounds so good, creepy and funny and weird. This comes out January 7th. So literally like in 2 months, less than 2 months. Up next, we have At Dark, I Become Loathsome by Eric LaRocca. It says, if you're reading this, you've likely thought that the world would be a better place without you. Ashley, whose wife and child have like died, is like kind of a weirdo. He's kind of a freaky guy. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Tiffany. He seems like a fucking creep, to be honest. He does these like rituals for people. I don't know what the rituals are, based on the line of like, the world would be a better place without you. I'm thinking maybe like some kind of like schmoobicide pact. Ashley, this weirdo, really struggling to overcome his grief. And one night he's just like really struggling with it. But he finds a connection in this person named Jinx, a potential candidate for Ashley's next ritual, whatever the ritual is. Thus begins a relationship that traps the two men in an ever tight spiral of painful revelations. Long hidden secrets are dragged kicking and screaming into the light. I kind of feel like Ashley is like secretly gay. Maybe I just want that. That's kind of like the vibe it's giving. I'm excited to read this just to know what the fuck is going on. What do you mean rituals? What are you doing to these people? How did his wife and child die? Did he kill them? It's all very suspicious. Also, that one comes out the 28th of January, just so you know. Next, let's talk about At the Bottom of the Garden by Camilla Bruce. In this, we are following Clara Woods. She's a murderer. She's a killer. She likes a little bit of murder. Who doesn't? She likes to do it by her own hand. She maybe has kept the bodies in her little garden, as any girl would. Clara is just living her little, murder fantasy. And then she's asked to take care of these children who are her like niece and nephew or something. She's like, you know what? I'm a really good person besides the whole fact that I murder people. So yeah, I'll take care of these kids. These kids show up and they're like, woo, we're your nephews or whatever. They're nieces, not nephews. But anyway, so these girls, Violet and Lily, show up. Clara isn't like the best person because like, yeah, she did take the girls in, but she did it mostly so that she can like get their money. But the only issue is that like when the kids move in, Violet specifically can like see the dead people that Clara has been just killing, murdering. Violet is like, oh, There's Tommy, you know, with his axe head. And Clara is like, what the fuck, Violet? She's very upset about it. Soon Clara is plagued by her victims and at war with the gifted girls in her care. The girls, Violet and Lily, have become liabilities and know way too much. This one also comes out January 28th. This one seems really, really good. I don't know how I feel about the cover. The cover is not my favorite. I think they could have done a lot more with it, but I think it's cute nonetheless. Next up, let's talk about Our Winter Monster by Dennis A. Mahoney. So this is apparently like a holiday horror book, which is kind of confusing to me because like it's coming out in January past the holidays. This is about an unhappy couple running from their problems straight into the maw of a terrifying beast. Perfect for fans of Paul Tremblay and Sarah Grawn. Listen, I'm not like a huge fan of either of those people. That sounds mean. They're fine. Anyway, we're following Holly and Brian. They have not really been on the same page. Like their boyfriend, girlfriend, they're like official Facebook, but they've been out of sync ever since that thing happened. You know, the thing. Neither of them want to talk about it, but they're definitely both still angry about it. When we meet them, they are on their way to New York City, specifically Pine Buck, New York. Why did I say city? The only thing is that there's like this huge blizzard, and of course they're gonna get stuck. They lose control of their car and then themselves. Cut to, we have Sheriff Kendra. She's been getting calls about a couple who've like been in trouble. And so she's a bit worried. She's like, oh no, I had this like very similar thing happen 7 weeks ago. It's bringing up memories. But then also she's getting calls about this thing that's like rampaging the fucking city and leaving dead bodies everywhere that it goes. The danger feels personal, but not as personal as it feels to Holly and Brian, who are starting to see the past, the present, and themselves in a monstrous new light. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think it sounds kind of fun. I think maybe Holly and Brian are gonna become a monster. Either way, that comes out also January 28th. This book I am so excited for, simply because the cover is absolutely unhinged and weird and so good. That is Victorian Psycho. This is by Virginia Fieto. We're following Winifred. She is going to go to this new place, this new job that she has called Enser House. She's going to be a governess for these children. And you're thinking, that's fun. That's cute. That's fine. Winifred is planning on deceiving these people. She's going to pretend to be the perfect governess. She's going to, you know, teach the kids arithmetic and tuck them into bed and tell them stories and joke about eating children, you know, to really like get on their good side. So the only thing that kind of sucks is like the longer that Winifred is there at this house, the longer she spends time with this family, she starts to like lose a little bit of control over her urges. Whether creeping across the moonlit lawns in her undergarments or gently tormenting the house staff, Winifred struggles at every turn to stifle the horrid compulsions of her past. I feel like Winifred is gonna try to eat the kids. I'm also going to have this in hand the moment it comes out. And this comes out February 4th, 2025. I saw this next book. I read the synopsis. I was like, that sounds fun. That sounds cute. Kind of reminds me of like my friend. So I sent it to my friend and she was like, yeah, this is cute. This sounds like me, except for like the heterosexuality. And I was like, excuse me? What heterosexuality? I missed that part. But besides the fact that it's got this like hetero romance, I think it sounds really, really good. This is The Bane Witch by Ava Morgan. It says that it's practical magic meets Gone Girl. So this is about Pierce. Pierce has always kind of had this thing for like poisonous stuff, right? She's always loved just like eating random plants and, you know, sometimes it leads to people dying. Is that her fault? Probably. But either way, she's always loved plants. She's always loved poisonous shit. It also kind of extends to men as well. She's married to this absolute vile dude, and she decides one day, like, you know what, fuck this, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. So she like literally runs away to go live with her great aunt in like, I'm assuming what can only probably be described as like a Hansel and Gretel type of fucking cottage. I don't know. She starts this like flirtationship thing with like a sheriff, which is like kind of where the heterosexuality comes in, but she's also kind of like killing people. Feminism is what's known as a Bane Witch, somebody who like eats poisonous things and like kills evil men. You know, bodies start piling up and she's kind of trying to distract this sheriff motherfucker into not realizing that she's killing all these people. If it was just like a cutesy killing men thing, slay. I'm a bit apprehensive because of the romance between her and the sheriff, potentially. Unless the sheriff is a woman, in which case I'm in. Either way, I'm excited to read this. This one comes out the 18th of March. Next up, let's talk about Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. It says, I'm in your blood and you are in mine. So this is in the Netherlands in 1887. We're following these two sisters, Lucy and Sarah. The only thing is, like, Sarah is unwell. Sarah is kind of sick. Lucy's really worried about her. Lucy refuses to eat. She mumbles nonsensically, just being like, the ketchup is in the fern, or something like that. Like, she says weird shit, like, that nobody understands. And she's increasingly obsessed with the centuries-old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. Suspicious. Very, very suspicious. So Lucy is like, you know what? I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna find out what's wrong with her and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna heal her. She's gonna be fine. The worst happens. Sarah becomes angry and hungry. Lucy soon comes to suspect that something is trying to possess her beloved sister. Or is it madness? Sarah changes before her very eyes. This sounds so good. I love nothing more than like an historical horror moment. I don't really talk that much about historical fiction, but I do love historical fiction, especially when it's fucking creepy. This one comes out March 25th. I have been waiting for this and I'm so excited for when this finally does come out. We're going to talk about The Unworthy by Agustina Bastorica. This is about this woman who is unnamed. She seemingly is like some kind of nun. She's in a cell writing down her story with whatever she can, like blood, dirt, ink, whatever. She's just trying to make it known that like she was there and like people need to know and hear and read her story. She is a lower member of the Sacred Sisterhood. She's been deemed unworthy. She dreams of ascending the ranks and of pleasing the foreboding superior sister. It seems like this is set in the future because the world is kind of falling apart. Outside of this convent, there is catastrophe everywhere. The internet doesn't work. Bad things are happening. Bands of survivors fight and forage. But inside, our main character is safe, if not controlled. But then this stranger shows up to the convent. Our main character meets her and they kind of connect in some way, and I'm hoping that they're gay. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Jordan, you wish everything was gay, and I do, but I really do hope it's gay. As the two women grow closer, our narrator is increasingly haunted by the question of her own past. She doesn't remember who she was before the convent. She doesn't remember her life before enlightenment. And now she's also starting to question, like, what happens to the girls, to the girlies who are enlightened? It's weird. It's suspicious. I'm so excited for this. I can only expect that it's gonna absolutely eat my heart out. Tender as the Flesh absolutely destroyed me. Looking forward to it. This comes out March 4th. Let's talk about it, Tiffany. Okay? We're gonna talk about When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I know that I'm so ready, so fucking ready to get my grubby, grimy, dirty dishwater fingers on this book. Why dishwater? I don't know. These little fingies, these little phalanges are gonna have their little fingerprints all over this motherfucking book because I'm so excited. I think this might be the book that I'm like the most excited for, period. The cover is absolutely bonkers. Crazy Town Banana Pants, okay? This cover is insane and it honestly kind of makes me believe in a Jesus. This is about this girl named Jess. Jess is a struggling actress. She's really having to put a lot of stock, a lot of faith into her career. And then one day she finds that there's this 5-year-old kid hiding in one of her bushes outside of her apartment building. And she's like, the fuck? Apparently though, this kid is like a runaway, ran away from his father. The father apparently like comes by and it's like this whole thing. It's like quite violent. So Jess and this boy are like, you know what? Your dad seems kind of like not a great guy. Maybe we should fucking run. Let's book it. So they start running away from this fucking man because he's a psychopath. As they attempt to evade the boy's increasingly desperate father, horrifying incidents of butchery follow them. At first, Jess is like, this is a normal thing. Okay, of course any parent would be upset. I'm like basically kidnapping their kid kind of. But the more time goes on, the less she seems to understand. When the wolf finally comes home, none will be spared. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited, dude. Nat Cassidy could sell me a piece of dog shit and I would literally thank him for it. I'd be like, Nat, you put so much work into that. good job. Like, I would buy it. Like, how much do you want? 100? I'll buy it. I'll buy your turd for $100. I don't care. I'll buy it. This one comes out April 22nd, 2025, and I can't wait to get my little fucking fingies on it. Next, we have Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Maria Griffin. This kind of seems a little bit like that play that I cannot remember the title of. That's what it reminds me of. We are following this girl named Shell. Shell is like doing a grocery run one day, and she sees a sign that says like help wanted in this like florist shop, not owned by Lily Bloom. Thank fucking God. This shop is owned seemingly by this girl named Neve. Shell is like, you know what, this kind of seems like the perfect thing for me because I really need like just something to mix things up. Shell just lost her job, just left her fiance, has moved back home with her parents. So things aren't looking great. So like this little help wanted, this little florist moment could be what she needs. And she kind of finds that like her and Neve, they get together. They are like this, okay? Cut to an orchid that's growing somewhere else in the mall. This orchid is watching everything happen. And it's thinking, okay, it's kind of rude that like Neve is forgetting about me. Like, I'm the most important thing to Neve. I should be. And like the thing is too, everything that they've ever eaten, anybody that they've ever eaten has never come close to what Neve would do to satisfy their hunger. He adores her and wants to consume her and will stop at nothing to eat the one he loves. Maybe that's where they got the title from. It says that it's a story about possession, monstrosity, and working retail, which I think is hilarious. I'm excited to read this. The cover is absolutely crazy. This comes out the 22nd of April. I know personally that I've been kind of disappointed with Craig DeLuey based on like the 13th episode, and then also apparently his newest book. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard not great things. Let me know if you read it and you liked it. Also, can I just say I'm kind of tired of like the whole like horror movie trope thing that happened in 2024. Like, I'm not buying it. I mean, I did buy it because I bought a bunch of books that were like featuring horror movies or whatever, but it's like kind of annoying. Anyway, so Craig DeLuey's next book that's coming out June 1st is called My Ex, the Antichrist. The cover, the title, cute. It's cute. I'm not even gonna lie. Craig is cute. So this one, to put it simply, is about this musician. She's like in a rock band. She finds out that her ex-boyfriend is the Antichrist, and she must find a way to stop him before he grows powerful enough to end the world. It says that it's a mixture of like Daisy Jones and the Six and the Omen. I read Daisy Jones and the Six, which I know you're thinking like, that's crazy. It literally would never see you reading that. I did read it. I didn't like it very much. I'm excited for this, if not maybe just like a little bit hesitant. Next up, we have The Library at Hellebore. Is it Hellebore? I think that's how you pronounce it. This is by Cassandra Claw. This apparently is a deeply dark academia novel, which you know I love. I'm like a dark academia expert. There have been so many new dark academia books coming out, and I feel like I need to do another like dark academia reading vlog. Let me know what you think, if you think I should do it. But anyway, this book sounds crazy. Hellebore is this like technical institute for the gifted. It's like meant to be for the apocalypse causers, for the world eaters, for the antichrists and the Ragnaroks. Hellebore promises redemption. It promises a normal life and acceptance. And that's what Elisa is told when she gets there, after she's kidnapped and like literally forcibly enrolled. So she's like, I'm not really buying it, but thanks. And Elisa soon realizes as well, there's more to the school than meets the eye, because graduation day comes and all of the faculty start literally killing and eating Elisa's classmates. Lisa and a few other people like escape. They're like, okay, cool, we made it through that one. Trapped in the school's library, they must offer up a human sacrifice or else the faculty will break down the door and kill everyone. Can they band together and survive, or will the faculty eat their fill? It sounds so good. It sounds like every dark academia novel that I could possibly ever want. Next, let's talk about The Girl in the Creek by Wendy N. Wagner. There's this hotel on the outskirts of Faraday, Oregon. There's so much fungus, like there's mushrooms growing everywhere, like so many that you wouldn't be able to like tell what kind they are, like not even like an expert could. And that's kind of where we meet our main character, Erin. Erin is a freelancer. She is here to look into the area because this is where her brother went missing. To Erin's surprise though, she ends up finding this girl in the creek, like this dead body. And she didn't expect to. But what's weird though is the girl just like keeps going missing. First, she sees her in the creek. He goes to try to find help. She comes back. The girl is gone. They do finally find her. They put her in the morgue. She disappears from the morgue. Days later, her fingerprints show up at the murder scene. It's a serial killer, or maybe it's the spores infecting the forest and those lost inside. Erin must find answers quickly before anyone else goes missing, or she might be next. The cover for this book gives me like bad video game graphics / like uncanny valley vibes. Like I hate it, but at the same time I can't look away. This comes out June 24th. We have what might be the best cover other than the Nat Cassidy book of 2025, and that is Black Flame by Gretchen Felker Martin. This cover eats okay? It's so good. It says that this is a historical horror about one woman's deadly obsession with a haunted film, perfect for fans of Midsummer and Night Film. I love both those things, so I'm sure to love this. In Black Flame, we're following this girl named Ellen. Ellen is a deeply, horrifyingly repressed lesbian. Like she is in the closet, okay? And she spends her time restoring films at a failing archive in New York City. And then a group of like German academics are like, hello. That wasn't a German accent. They're like, hello. We have this film for you to watch. It is an exploitation film. We want you to, restore it. So Ellen gets to work on restoring this film, which was filmed during the Holocaust, an exploitation film, which, can I be honest with you, I don't really know what that is, but I'm assuming it's not good. Ellen finds herself forced to confront her own repressed sexuality, the more obsessed she becomes over its depictions of occult practices and queer debauchery. She's soon convinced that the acts portrayed in the film are not fiction but reality, and they're happening to her. This is coming out August 25th. The last book that we are going to talk about today, 8114 by Joshua Hull. This one seems like a very simple premise. This is about this guy named Paul who returns to his hometown. He's this small-time podcast guy. When Paul gets home, he finds that his friend, his longtime friend, has killed himself in Paul's old family home. Desperate to find answers, Paul interviews friends and locals hoping to find closure. He finds himself in a chilling downward spiral of his memories and the land he grew up on. Has his past caught up with him, or is there something far more sinister at play? I feel like the synopsis isn't giving us anything. I feel like it's gonna be creepy because the cover gives me like you know those horror movies that you see where everybody's like, oh my god, this was so crazy and it like really effed me up. Like you wouldn't think it would be so crazy, but it was crazy. And you're kind of like, okay, I might not watch that because I feel like it's gonna like hurt me. Like that's how I feel about this book. It's like, it has this very mundane premise, but the cover is giving me like horrifying. Do you know what I mean? This one comes out on August 26th. My friends, my family, my familia, thank you so much for being here today with me. It's been so much fun seeing you. I hope you're doing well. You look stunning. Let me know down below which books you're most excited to read in 2025. If there's any that I didn't include in this video, please let me know. I would love to know your opinions. Don't forget also to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit, talk about creepy shit, talk about Black Flame and when the wolves come home and shit. Thank you so much, Tiffany. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in my next one. Bye. See you later. Goodbye. Au revoir. You're literally gorgeous. You're so pretty. It hurts.